In today's video, we're looking deep into the backtesting results for gapping up penny stocks to find the accuracy rate, favorable conditions, where the right strategies and setups are found, plus more. What's up, team? It's John from Beginner Trading, and I appreciate you joining me here today for another backtesting session. Like I said in the intro, in today's video, we're looking deep into penny stocks with gapping up setups and strategies. For this video specifically, I'm testing how many times a stock will break the pre-market high after gapping up with high relative volume, and I'm doing so using a few different methods. This video is going to be useful because it's going to tell us how often stocks in the last few months have broken pre-market highs after gapping up and closing lower at the open, basically how many times they succeed versus fail. And I do want to preface the rest of this video with that this is just my manual backtesting session. Obviously, when you manually backtest anything, there's going to be some subjectivity in it. But still, it should give us some pretty interesting results that let you know how to approach penny stocks, where the right time to enter and exit these positions might be, plus a lot of gold information. And so if you appreciate content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button below, and if you click the bell next to the subscribe button, you'll get an alert every single time we go live, which is every single weekday morning for free on YouTube. Now, with all that said, let's take a look at these results. Okay, so for me to start this backtesting session, I went back to my old live streams, and if you don't know already, I day trade live on stream, but I also show trade idea scanners showing the top gappers on each particular day. And so what I did for this backtesting session is I went back looking at my old streams and finding the top 4 gapping penny stocks on those days and looking for high relative volume. Basically, if a stock has pretty high relative volume gapping up and looks solid with a really nice percentage move, I would include it in the top 4 list on each day. And again, just to review what I'm exactly testing for here one more time, I'm documenting the pre-market high level, watching a stock after the open, and testing to see how many times stocks actually break the pre-market high level after the open. If a stock breaks that pre-market high level during that day, I consider that a success during this testing. If it fails to break that level, obviously I consider that one a failure. And this is really interesting specifically for penny stocks for a number of different reasons. Many times people can only go long in penny stocks because not only do they trade small accounts that don't have leverage or margin to be able to short, but they also don't really have that many shorts available on penny stocks to begin with. And so with all of that said, seeing how many times a penny stock is actually going to run up after the open is an interesting dynamic to take a look at. And so yeah, I started to go back and look at the different stocks each day, finding out what the best movers specifically were. This was a little bit meticulous, but eventually I got into a rhythm. Again, just documenting the biggest movers of that day. I tried to keep it to around 4, no more than 5, but I usually ended up with about 3 or 4 really high volume stocks to test for those specific days. And so with that, the information that I got was pretty useful in the end. When I was done finding stocks to trade and really documenting the best movers each day, I had a pretty solid list of about 64 total stocks once I was done actually gathering them. Overall, this should be decent enough to do a short-term back test on these penny stock setups, and so let's see how that actually went here. In previous videos, I talked about the way I specifically backtest. It's a manual backtesting method that I call the IO or tally method, and I basically just mark the successful instances with an I and the failed instances with an O. That way, afterwards, I tally them all up to get an accuracy rate, and it's a pretty easy way that you can backtest stocks yourself. So when I was finally done testing all of these different stocks, again I tested 64 in total, there was only 20 successful instances of a stock pushing up and breaking the pre-market level after the open, and 44 failures. That gave us a base accuracy rate of this setup of around 31%. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking, man, those are pretty terrible results. And that might be true to a certain extent, but there's some really useful information that this backtesting session showed us. The first one is that with low float penny stocks, most of them are simply not going to push up after the open and break the pre-market high. Again, it only happens about a third of the time, and so if you're betting on a stock to push up and break the pre-market high, specifically with low float penny stocks, again, it's probably not going to happen, and so it's not a great bet overall, at least in the last month. Another interesting thing about this is that when stocks actually do finally push up and break the pre-market level, they have a much higher percentage of actually continuing up a huge amount. And that's a really useful thing because you can understand that if a stock actually does break that pre-market high, it's a much higher percentage setup overall and can be used to potentially profit from, if that makes sense. Like I said before, when these stocks actually do break the pre-market high level, they typically perform much better. Again, we had 20 total stocks that eventually broke the pre-market high, and out of those 20, 16 of them continued running up in a really strong way after that pre-market high break. Only 4 of them faked us out here, and so what that tells us is that this can be a very strong strategy to add to your trading arsenal. You know, waiting for these pre-market high breaks, although they are much rare according to our backtesting, can be pretty profitable if you have the patience to wait for them to actually break over these levels. Again, I think that makes a lot of sense, and that was one of the most useful things I think I got from this backtesting session, and that's ultimately a strategy that I'm probably going to begin testing and potentially trading on next week during our live streams. And so yeah, this was a pretty useful backtesting session, and although I did find out that most penny stocks don't eventually break the pre-market highs after forming them and going through the opening bell, it's still a pretty useful set of data that I can use to help my trading with specifically penny stocks in a lot of different ways. From now on, I'm going to be a lot more patient until stocks actually break the pre-market high level, because again, if they don't, usually they're just going to fake me out, and if I can wait for that pre-market high break, that's ultimately going to be a much higher percentage for me to wait for and ultimately trade with my small day trading account. And so I hope that makes sense, and I hope you can find use to these setups and strategies that I've been backtesting. I should have another backtesting session coming soon, and so we'll see how that goes when the time comes for it. And so anyways, team, like I said, that's it for this one. Remember, if you have any specific backtesting strategies, just like last time, you want to see me backtest in another video just like this, let me know right now in the comments below. A few I'm considering are moving average crossovers, maybe some more scalping strategies, and so again, if you have any suggestions for that, let me know now. Remember guys, backtesting is super crucial for your development as a trader. Anytime you're trying to build a profitable trading system, you have to test the strategies overall. And with this backtesting session, I've been trading a lot of penny stocks lately, and this is some pretty useful information that I'm going to put to good use when I trade penny stocks on Thinkorswim and beyond. Remember team, there's a lot of great ways you can help support our free content here. If you want to sign up through Webull and get a free stock for signing up and another free stock for depositing $100, I'll put a link in the description, and Webull is a great platform that has great indicators, candlestick charts, a really nice free platform with free commission trades as well. And so again, check out the description for that. I'll put our Patreon link in the description as well if you want to help support our content. Good luck in the market guys, and remember, we day trade live on stream for free using these strategies every single weekday morning on YouTube. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, click the bell to turn on notifications. That way you'll know if we go live or drop a new video, and good luck in the markets. We'll see you all next time.